What is going on, YouTube? PPS back. It is our YouTube play of the day video for the 22nd of February. It is 2-2-2. One of these days that obviously you don't get very often like that all the way through. I'm very excited to get after it today again. Obviously, yesterday was not the way we planned. Those games were so bad. And sometimes the numbers just don't add up to the play, right? So Bowling Green, we knew both these teams were bad. Obviously, terrible defensively, but the turnovers, there was just so many turnovers, so many bad shots. Nothing. I have nothing good to say about this play. Yeah, nothing. I truly have nothing for how poor they played in that one. And then Buffalo team total over 79.5. Got out to a huge lead. I did not expect Buffalo's defense to do what they did to that Central Michigan side. They were poor. I know they're bad. Defensively, they were very bad. But Buffalo had, I believe, 2 stretches throughout the game with over 3 minutes without a point, which obviously is not going to get it done when we have a higher-ish team total like that. But they had 25, about 11 minutes in. That's very, very good on pace for it. But when your defense is just shoving, it's tough to keep the foot on the pedal, especially when you're up like 30 and you only have 60 points. So I like the read on them. Obviously, the job was not getting done on that side. So we have 2 plays today. I'm actually, since it's 2-2-2, 2-2-2, 3 of them. I'll actually be dropping 2 college, 2 other plays in the description that I'm going to post. I always like to do a little hype thing right underneath here. So check in there. I'll actually be dropping 2 plays in there. So make sure you check that out. Obviously, it's only for you guys. I'm not going to post it on Twitter, not even on Picket. It's just going to be right here for all you guys who've been supporting the YouTube channel. And I really, really appreciate it. So first play, a team we really like. I'm going back to Furman. I'm going first half, though. We've seen these guys a few times when I've lost on them, just kind of let off the pedal a little bit in the second half. So I'm going to the first half number here, and I think we're getting a very fair line. Furman has obviously been very good to us. Mostly my VIP ones, we've been playing them a lot. They're very, very good at home. One of the best home teams in the country, actually. They're top 10 in home scoring with 86 points per game, 75 on the road. So still respectable on the road. But what I really do like is Furman at home is averaging 40 points per game in the first half. They're playing a Mercer side who is very slow, and I understand that. But their bottom 2 are 208 in adjusted defense, 286 in adjusted offense. They do play fairly slow, but I think with the side of Furman here, like I said, this year is a new Furman team, right? Furman used to be a very slow, very good defensive team. They're a top 100 pace team now. And we saw them play earlier in the season. The pace was not great, but the defensive efficiency for Mercer was god awful, right? Furman does not usually shoot the ball very well from the outside, and Mercer made them do it. And then Mercer came through and Furman came through and shot 62% from 3 because they were just daring them to shoot that ball from the outside. Obviously, they absolutely destroyed them. It was 84-66, and that was on the road. I also really like, obviously, older teams with free throws. They had 24 free throw attempts, made 18 of them. I think that is another part that could definitely be a factor in this game. But Furman is just better across the board. We saw Foster drop 25 on these dudes. We saw Slauson with 15, one of their better players there, and Bothwell, obviously, 17 in that one. So it was a team effort. They came through. Every single one of those guys shot the ball well outside of Plagues, but he only had he went 3 for 10. Everybody else was 7 for 12, 7 for 9, 6 for 9. Very, very efficient. Obviously, they're in second place behind Samford right now. So these are must-win games, only 1 game behind. Obviously, Samford is their last game. So this right here is their last home game. I'm not sure if that just means it's like a homecoming or whatever, or if it's like their senior day or whatever. But Furman is going to come out of the gates fast, right? In your last home game of the year, obviously you have a huge game on the weekend. With it being that last home game, usually if I do look ahead, I kind of get a little bit worried, but it's your senior day, right? Your last home game. You're playing a team that you should handle. You handled earlier this year. I think this is one where they start really quick. Obviously, you got a lot of seniors on this roster and a lot of older good players here in this side should definitely take care of business. I do like that angle, though, of that senior day aspect. And you can't look ahead. You cannot look ahead. You lose this one, you have no chance, right? You have absolutely no chance because they actually beat Samford in their first matchup. So got to win this one, and it should be a fun game for sure. All right, guys, smash that like button if you could. And we're actually heading to these guys have been wagons for me, but they've been under the radar wagons. Haven't been giving them out as free plays much. It's kind of like Josh Hart. VIP guys know Josh Hart has been a wagon for me when he was with Portland, but I really didn't post him as free plays much. So right here, we're going to New Mexico. New Mexico versus Boise State over 146.5. I'm pulling up my screen right now so you guys can see both. We will be heading over to Boise first here, 146.5. minus 115. And then the Furman line, for some reason, FanDuel does not have the first half team total up. They only have that on DraftKings at the moment. So let me pull up Furman's there so you guys can see where I'm at, 36.5, minus 125. That is DraftKings only at the moment. But New Mexico, what a three-headed monster. I don't know if you guys remember, I posted these guys what was it, last week? At 143.5. I took them money line. I thought they would absolutely nuke these dudes, and they did. It's just, this is such a tough attack to stop, right? We went up against them in that San Jose State game. Aduze ended up with 31 in that game. New Mexico is so hard to stop offensively because they're rolling three studs, right? Morris Aduze, 16 and 9. You have Jalen House with 17 and 5 assists, and Jamal Mashburn, 20 points a game. You're rolling three studs. All of them are playing heavy minutes. They have Josiah Alec, too, who's playing 32 minutes. So these dudes are out there for, on average, 32 to 33 minutes a game, right? And it's a tough team to slow down. We just want to look at our overlying numbers, right? You can look at Boise State. Very good defensively. But we saw in their first matchup, it didn't really matter with how good these guys are. They're a top 10 defense and adjusted defense, 83 in adjusted offense. But New Mexico they are a tough team to slow down. 23rd in adjusted offense, 27th in pace. I think the pace is one of the most important things to look at in this game to see if we can replicate game one, right? Game one between these guys obviously went to overtime. These are very, very close teams. That's why I'm doing the full game versus first half. I really do like the first half as well. New Mexico is a top 10 first half scoring team, but I think that this game is going to be close at the end. I'm hoping we see those fouls. I think it's only a 1.5 point spread at the moment. But we saw in that game the pace come more towards the New Mexico side, right? Degenhart had 28 in that one. We saw Max Rice, 17 in that one as well. Shaver had 10. But, look at the top three guys. We just talked about those top three guys in that first game, right? Alec had 18 rebounds. So we'll put him in 42. Jalen House was 16 and 4. So these guys have played these guys. They have their number. Those three dudes are better. They're going to have, you can't just focus on these good defenses, right? They usually take away your best guy. Don't let you beat them. Who do you take away here? Who do you take away? You take away Jamal Mashburn. You still got House and Aduze down there. You try to take away Aduze because you have Degenhart and him going back and forth. Then you have two stud guards on the outside. It's just a tough matchup for teams. I'm talking myself into betting New Mexico again, and they've been so good for me. But Boise State obviously needs a win here as well. They're second in the Mountain West Conference, sitting behind San Diego State. And New Mexico is about in the 5th place spot. So it's going to be a tough one there. One other thing I wanted to mention was I took a free play under yesterday for DM people. I sent them out Colorado State under for the team total. But we just saw New Mexico absolutely blow San Diego State's defense out of the water. They end up beating them pretty handily in that game too. And they're scoring points on pretty much everyone. So that's why I'm not really worried about the Boise State defense as much. They dropped 76 points on San Diego State, who's obviously a very, very good defense and a very slow team. And they're still able to make them run with them. So love New Mexico. I like this Boise State side as well to stay with this pace. It's a huge pace up spot, almost 4 possessions. And I really like this game. This is going to be a great game. Also, it is the late night hammer, guys. It is the last game of the night. So that's even another thing to talk about here. So love the spot. 2 plays for you. New Mexico over 146.5 versus Boise State over on FanDuel. And then Furman first half team total over 36.5 on DraftKings minus 125. So thank you guys. Be on the lookout for extra free plays in the comments below. Have a good one. Let's crush it tonight. Back to back. Let's get this one. 2-2-2 sweep of the 2 plays here. Let's have a day.